Hello. We live in a world of multiple dimensions. The fifth dimension is the dimension of the imagination, imagine communities. This is where propaganda takes place. My name's David Williams. This is my assistant, Frederick. And we're going to talk to you about propaganda in our everyday lives. What is propaganda? We usually think of propaganda coming from totalitarian states. Stalin, Hitler, the man with the beard. Not him, him. Putin, Mugabe. But is that really the source of all propaganda? Is it? The real propaganda comes from where we are today, the land of the free. It comes through everything. Through the internet, newspapers and magazines, TV and radio. In totalitarian states, these are limited. Over here, they're in abundance. Is it? What is propaganda? Well, propaganda is a form of communication used to manipulate and form your opinion. Is it? I think you're on the same one again. Ah, all right. These are examples of propaganda. Coca-Cola, Harley Davidson, Marlboro cigarettes. Is it? Propaganda to a democracy is like a big stick is to a totalitarian state. This is the way they form us with the propaganda. They don't use force, they use influence. Hit it. Well, you don't think propaganda can influence you? This is a static image. If you see it moving, you're being influenced. Hit it. What do all these pictures have in common? Hit it. What do these pictures have in common? Hit it. Again. They use persuasive techniques. Hit it. Otherwise known as propaganda. Hit it. Propaganda techniques used to influence opinions, emotions, attitudes, and behaviour. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Generally, propaganda is an appeal to emotion, not your intellect. It's an attempt to change your behaviour, and it attempts to guide your choice. Hit it. Who uses propaganda? Well, the military uses propaganda. Here's an example of it. Media uses it, advertisers, politicians, but we use it in our everyday life to influence each other. If we want somebody to do something for us, we'll use propaganda. Hit it. Propaganda techniques. Bandwagon technique. This is a technique you can see used by totalitarian regimes. You can see used by big companies. The Nazis used it. People would join the Nazi party because everybody was joining it. We go to McDonald's because everybody goes to McDonald's. The testimonial. This is the kind of thing that you'd see Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods says, use this watch. Tiger Woods says, wear these shoes. Loaded words. Loaded words are used all the time by politicians, also in advertisements for things. It feels good, it's better, this is very good. The misuse of statistics. Another example. Statistics can tell you various things. Like 33% of accidents are caused by drunk drivers, but alternatively, you could say that 67% of accidents are caused by sober drivers, which is right. Name calling or stereotyping. You hear this every day. Doddard, Rocket Man, used in by politicians. Ordinary people. Politicians pretending to be ordinary people. Snob appeal. I drive a Skoda, you drive a Rolls Royce. Transfer. I'm transferring my feelings of how I feel to you. Next one. Alright, stop. Cut that thing.
Nice.
Next slide. Next slide. Next one. Yeah. What type of propaganda is this? Please go a second. It's loaded words. Next slide. How do we escape propaganda? Think, think, think. It's all about persuasion. So what we think really matters. Next slide. Defend yourself by thinking. Next slide. But then again, The film The Matrix might have an answer about how we really behave. You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling me in my brain that it's juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realise? Takes a bite of it. Ignorance is bliss. Maybe that's why propaganda is so effective. Thank you.